Welcome back. We are doing lesson 7 for Wit and Wisdom. Remember, our focus question is, how is wind a powerful force? And our content framing question today is, how does feel the wind build my knowledge? All right, so in this lesson, we're going to begin by checking on our genre prediction that we made about Feel the Wind in lesson 1. We're going to decide, is it a story or is it an informational text? And then we're going to reflect on what we've learned about reading Feel the Wind. And then we're going to plan and write an informative paragraph. All right, so let's look at our fluency homework. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay. So, Feel the Wind by Arthur Dorros. Wind is moving air. Air is what we breathe. It is everywhere around us, even can't see it. We can't see air and we can't really see wind, but we can see the wind move things. Wind pushes clouds across the sky. Wind flutters leaves of trees and makes ripples on the lake. All right, so now I'm going to stop sharing. All right, so let's talk about our predictions. Let's talk about that. So, Feel the Wind. Could you say it is a story that tells a story, or is it a book that gives us information, teaches us something? What did you decide on? Well, Feel the Wind is actually a book that gives information. So if you put it on your gives information, you were correct, because a book that gives information and teaches something about a topic is an informational book. It can be proven to be true, and it gives facts, and sometimes has text features. All right. Now, books that tell stories, remember, it's something that happens to a character, and the characters, there's something, like with the setting, the problem, and a resolution. So the character is portrayed all the way through a story. All right. So that means there is a beginning, a middle, and an end to the story. Okay. So I am going to play our video for us. So I'm going to go back to share our screen. You can listen to our video. Okay. There.
Hello, first graders. Welcome back to Wit and Wisdom NSYNC. My name is Tanisha Spears, and I'm excited to jump into our lesson for today. But before we do, let's make sure you have your materials ready. For this lesson, you will need your copy of the text, Feel the Wind, if you have one. You'll need handout 7A, which is the topic sandwich chart, handout 7B, the informative writing checklist, your Wit and Wisdom NSYNC journal, and a pencil. We'll also go over assessment 6A, but I'll show that to you on the screen. Pause now if you need to gather your materials.
I think we're good.
In previous work, you had a chance to identify the main idea and key details in the text, Feel the Wind, as well as make comparisons between various research sources. Today, you'll reflect on the knowledge you've built from reading Feel the Wind, and you'll practice your focus and question task. Now, before you reflect, let's think about the question that we are building knowledge to answer throughout this module. And that question is, how do people respond to the powerful force of the wind? And remember, the that guided our work with the text Feel the Wind is, how is wind a powerful force? And remember that the research you've been doing with the multiple sources has helped you with answering this question. Now, friends, the question that will frame our learning for today is, how does this text build my knowledge of the wind? So before you write your focusing question task, you will reflect on your learning from the text feel the wind. You are going to reflect using a chart that we've used before, and it's the chart you see on your screen. Remember, on the left-hand side is where you capture the new information you've learned or what you know as a result of reading the text. And on the right-hand side is where you identify the things you can do or the skills you can do as a reader and a writer from reading the text, Feel the Wind. Are you ready? Now what I want you to do is I want you to think, what did you learn from reading the text, Feel the Wind? Think. If you need a hint, you might think about what you learned about how wind is created or what the wind can do. All right, think. Now, share with a learning partner or share aloud one thing you learned.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing there because I want us to do this together. So in your journal, all right, I'm going to make you up close there. I want you to write in your journal what I know, okay, and what I can do. Okay, so write that in your journal. All right, so what I know is what? We know that wind is created when hot air rises and cold air moves in, okay? We also know with the wind, we can see, hear, and feel the wind. And the wind is a powerful force, right? Awesome. Okay, so make sure you got that copied in your journal. So what I can do is I can identify differences between sources. Okay, and what else I can do is I can also do research. Okay, so make sure you get that down in your journal. All right, so let's go back. I'm gonna share my screen again. And let's see what she comes up with.
Here's something I learned, and I wonder if you said something similar. I learned that wind can be helpful, and it can help us fly a kite. It can sail a boat, and we can even create power with windmills.
We had some of those.
Something similar. I'm sure you did. Now, let's think about what you learned to do as a reader and a writer from reading the text, feel the wind. Think about what you learned about doing research or what you learned about using sources. Think, share with your learning partner, or just share aloud something you learned to do as a reader and a writer.
Well, we talked about researching, didn't we?
Here's something that I learned. I learned about using more than one source to do research. I also learned to identify which information was similar and which information was different when we gathered information from two sources.
Good job.
Did you say something similar?
We did.
I'm sure you did. Now, it's your turn. You are going to record aloud or write at least one thing you know and one thing you can do after reading the text, Feel the Wind. Are you ready? Pause the video now to record or write.
You don't have to, okay, friends?
Okay, friends, if you need to, pause the video to take a moment to stretch or take a quick break. When you're done, unpause the video. Welcome back, friends. You have collected information from several sources to use in an informative paragraph about what the wind does in a hurricane. Today, you will continue to think about this question. How do I use research from multiple sources to write an informative paragraph? You will also practice or rehearse what you will write for that informative paragraph. Okay, so you've already completed part 1 of the focusing question task. Today, we're going to look over part 2 of this assessment together. We'll look at the steps for how to complete the task, and after this video, you'll know what to write, and your classroom teacher will tell you how to show your work and how to turn it into them. Let's look at part 2. Follow along on the screen as I read the task. Write an informative paragraph to answer the research question, what does the wind do during a hurricane? I'll read it one more time. Write an informative paragraph to answer the research question, what does the wind do during a hurricane? Now, friends, you are getting to be experts at writing informative paragraphs using the topic sandwich model. Now, let's see if you can remember all the parts of a topic sandwich. Think. Now, I want you to point to the topic statement. Where would that go on our topic sandwich chart?
I hope you point to the top.
Where would the topic statement go? All right, what about the information, which includes the facts and the details?
Oh, the good stuff in the middle, right?
Now, where would the conclusion go?
At the bottom bun.
Did you point? I'm sure you did. Now, I'm going to review the job of each part of the paragraph, and you are going to practice saying what you're going to write. Are you ready? Let's review. Okay, what comes first in an informative paragraph?
Topic.
That's right, the topic statement. I want you to point to the part of the paragraph and point gently that represents the topic statement.
That's the top
Did you
bun.
point? I bet you did. The topic statement tells us what the paragraph is going to be about. Remember, this paragraph is about wind in a hurricane. Here's a sentence frame that you can use for your topic statement. During a hurricane, the wind, and remember, you would fill in the blank line. So for example, I might say, during a hurricane, the wind is very strong. I want you to pause the video to practice saying your topic statement aloud.
Okay, let's practice saying it. During a hurricane, the wind is very strong. Good.
Great job practicing your topic statement. Now, what's the next part of an informative paragraph?
We have to have facts and details,
Did you
right?
say it? I'm sure you did. The next part will be the facts and the details from your research. The facts and details support the topic statement and gives us more information about the main topic. Now remember, you've already selected 2 details from 2 different sources and written them in your journal. I'd like you to pause the video and find that page in your journal now.
Okay, I hope you have your 2 details. So one detail that I would put about during a hurricane, the wind is very strong. The wind can damage homes. That's one detail. And my second detail is the wind can push water onto land. Okay, I'm writing mine down. Okay.
What details did you choose? I chose blows more than 100 miles per hour. I want that to be a complete sentence. So I could write, the wind blows more than 100 miles per hour. Now, I want you to try practicing what you will write now. So pause the video and share 2 details with your learning partner, or just share aloud.
Okay, I chose the wind can damage homes, and I chose the wind can push water onto land.
I bet readers will learn a lot from your paragraph. Now that you've written your topic statement and your details, all that is left is your conclusion. Remember, conclusions finish a paragraph, and a conclusion restates the topic statement. Restate means to say it again in a different way. I want you to think about how you might restate your topic statement. For example, I started my paragraph with, during a hurricane, the wind is very strong. So I could end with, hurricane winds are very powerful. Now I want you to pause the video and share your conclusion with your learning partner, or just share aloud. You can use a sentence frame on the screen or make up a sentence of your own. Pause the video now to practice.
Okay, let's practice our conclusion. Hurricane winds are powerful. Great job.
Okay, now that you've practiced your topic statement, your details, and your conclusion, I challenge you to practice saying your whole paragraph aloud. I want to remind you to use the information from 2 different sources that you wrote in your journals for the details in the middle of your paragraph. Are you ready to practice? Pause the video and practice your paragraph aloud. Remember, you can point to part of the paragraph as you rehearse. Pause the video now to practice.
Okay, this is my paragraph. During a hurricane, the wind is very strong. The wind can damage homes. The wind can push water on land. Hurricane winds are powerful.
Now that you have practiced your paragraph, let's review the task one more time. You are going to write an informative paragraph to answer the research question, what does the wind do during a hurricane? Remember that you will include a topic statement, research from 2 or more sources, and a conclusion. And here's some more resources that may help you when you write your paragraph. You will see the research question, the information from the resources, and a picture of the topic sandwich to remind you of all parts of an informative paragraph. Okay, now you know what to write and you have the resources you need. Remember, your classroom teacher will tell you how to show your work and how to turn it into them. Have fun writing, friends. All right, awesome first graders. Nice job reflecting on the knowledge you built and the things that you can do as a writer from reading the text, Feel the Wind. The next time we will start a new text, but until then, be kind and do something great because you are capable of greatness.
Okay. So let me stop sharing my screen up there. All right, guys. So today we are writing our paragraph. During a hurricane, the wind is what? And then you're going to pick two choices to write about a hurricane that we talked about. And then you're going to have a conclusion sentence also. So I am going to put the topic sentence on the board. Oops, let me get my eraser here. Okay, so here's my topic sentence that you guys are going to use also, okay? So it says, during a hurricane, the wind, oh, let me move that over so you guys can see it. Wrong way. During a hurricane, the wind is blank. And you decide what you want to put in that blank, okay? Then here, you're going to pick two details to put here in the middle, okay, about a hurricane and the wind. And you can use the video to pause and pick two things out of that chart towards the end of the video, if you choose to do that. But make sure you use complete sentences when choosing those. And then your conclusion is hurricane winds are blank. Okay, so your topic sentence is during a hurricane, the wind is blank. Then I want you to give me two details. And then your conclusion is hurricane winds are blank. So this is your assignment today. You are going to write this informative paragraph and make sure that you turn a picture of it into me, okay? All right. Now, with that being said, make sure that you use capitals at the beginning of sentences and punctuation, and you also leave spaces between your words. Okay, so now let's look here. We are going to do our deep dive now, all right, using Feel the Wind. And we are going to be using nouns and verbs. And we're talking nouns and verbs right now with phonics too. So that's a good thing. Let's look here. I'm going to put a couple sentences on the board, and we're just going to talk about what the noun is and what the verb is. Okay. Okay, let's do this sentence. The wind goes faster than a car. All right. The wind goes faster than a car. What is the noun in that sentence? Okay, the wind. And you've also got car down there. That's another noun. What is the verb that shows what the wind is doing? It's goes, right? Goes is the verb. What you could say about this is, what is this sentence about? The wind goes faster than a car. It's about the wind, right? So this part of the sentence is called a subject. It's what the sentence is about, okay? The rest of the sentence, from the verb goes to the very end, is called a predicate, all right? It's called a predicate. But our main goal today is that you know that the wind is the noun and goes is the verb in that sentence, okay? Let's do another one. Let's do this one. See if I can get another marker that will work for me. The wind knocks things down. Okay, let's talk about what's the noun? Wind, so we'll circle it. What's the verb? What's it doing? It's knocks, okay? So then what's the subject of the sentence? What's the topic of that sentence? It's the wind, isn't it? This is our subject. All right, so the rest of our sentence would be the predicate. Good, but main goal is to understand the noun and the verb, okay? Remember, nouns are people, places, and things, and verbs show action. All right, guys, so your goal today is to write that paragraph and turn it in for your grade, okay? So that is your job today. So make sure you guys do that. Thank you for working so hard for me, and I will see you back here again tomorrow. Bye, my friends.